B96, Styles and Roman kicking it once again on the Comcast couch. We got him out we used to watch him on the show Making the Band. And
absolutely.
You know, sometimes you watch Donnie Klang and Love the Girls.
Of course, of course.
But then, you know, the guy group's got to come out.
Yeah.
And this guy didn't make the band, but I got to ask him, the first time when you were announced that you were a solo artist in Bad Boy, Donnie Klang, first off on the Comcast couch. How you doing, man?
I'm very good, very good.
What was going through your head?
Oh my God, man.
Well, I mean, that's the first thing I want to ask you. I mean, that was just insane because at first you're like,
well, I don't think you heard it. You didn't hear it in the beginning.
No, I had
right?
no. Everybody's always asking me. No, actually, at first I didn't know because I was trying to congratulate the guys that made it into the group. Everybody's always asking me like, "You definitely knew beforehand," but I had no idea.
You can tell that you didn't know because you were so surprised. Unless you're that good of an actor.
No,
no, I'm not.
I had no idea. I was just going with it. It was like he was like, "All right, I'm gonna pick 5 people for the group." I was like, "All right, well, I'm definitely in."
Yeah.
Because I felt confident the whole season and everything, and then he picked Big Mike was the last pick.
Yeah.
So my first reaction was I was happy for him. He lost like 70 pounds.
Right.
But then when I saw the group like stand up ahead and I was just standing back,
I'm not in it.
Yeah, like here I was. I dropped out of school. I quit all my jobs. My parents were kind of like on the edge about me dropping out of school. So it was like to see this, and then I made it all the way to the end to get cut.
Yeah.
So that was just like that feeling hurt. But then like a minute later,
2 seconds later, next thing you know, you're jumping on a couch.
Now that it's sunk in, I mean, obviously, I'm sure during all the auditions, you were thinking, "Oh my God, it'd be so cool to be in this group, You probably never thought you get a solo deal right out the gate with Bad Boys. So now explain that being like part of a 5-member group. That's really exciting.
Yeah.
But then now you're a solo artist. How does that feel compared to how it would have felt?
And I used to sing in groups.
Okay.
So I was just always coming from that like group mentality, like singing harmonies and matching choreography to the other member in the group and stuff. So I was always coming from like that mentality, and then like it was just like the biggest surprise of my life to be a solo artist, and that's why it took so long basically to get the album done because I needed to find a direction, and I was just like I was lost for a while, and then especially Donnie Klang, Day 26, we did a whole nother season after that, and they were kind of getting the forefront because writers and producers, they knew Donnie Klang was doing the album. They knew that Puff was putting together an R&B group that was about to do an album, but this whole thing was a surprise to everybody else, just like it was to me. So it was just took a while.
We kind of felt bad for you because watching the show, there was a point where I think you even kind of said
he was caressing Aubrey every night on the show. I didn't feel bad for nothing, man.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a little bit. I'm saying as a musician, though, I kind of felt bad because it seemed like you were kind of like, well, wait, Day 26 is doing their thing, Donnie Klang is doing their thing. What about me? I felt that for you. I felt that.
Well, actually, it worked in my favor in the long run because I was able to put in like my own creative influence. Like I write, I produce and stuff. And when I was like getting shelved, basically not going to the studio or nothing, they were like, I was just sitting home writing my own songs, working on the piano and everything, like really working on some new material, which actually ended up making it onto the album. Like I wrote the chorus of Dr. Love.
Right. Okay.
Like that's one of the songs on the album, and just a bunch of other tracks. And I was able to really like show Diddy like, no, listen, I'm a writer too. Like that's cool. I've been doing that like with my old group and everything.
And you said that like to find your direction. Can you go to Diddy and actually be like, no, I want to? Can you go to him and say, I don't want to go that route. I think you got me casted wrong. I want to go this way. Can you actually like say anything to Diddy? Like have him go, yeah, you're right.
You just have to really like just stroke his ego because he's been in the music industry for so long that if you come at him in the wrong tone or the wrong sense, he's gonna be like, I've been doing this for 25 years. Why am I gonna take your opinion? But if I come at him like, listen, I've been doing what I've been told to do. I did all the songs you wanted me to do.
Vodka in the background. He's like, what's up, Donnie? What's up, man?
No, but it's just about how you approach him. Like if he tells you, all right, you did all this, like now I'll give you your chance to do what you want to do. And I was able to do that. And we just like, we found the middle ground.
Well, let's talk about the middle ground. The first single, I'll Take You There, featuring P. Diddy or Puff Daddy, whatever you want to call him. And I mean, the cool thing, we just saw a sneak peek of the video. And I mean, you're side by side with Diddy the entire video. I think you're doing all right, bro.
Yes. To me, like, that was crazy. Like, I grew up watching the whole Bad Boy thing 10 years ago with More Money, More Problems, Mace, Biggie, 112, Faith Evans, all that. So it was like, to me, it was like, to be able to be in a video with him, not only this whole thing with being signed to Bad Boy and, like, just being signed in general was crazy enough. And then to be in the video with him, like, to me, it's like, I can't believe it. Like, it's not, people are like, oh, how do you contain yourself? But it's like, I'm like beside myself, basically. Like
I'm
you're
not beside Diddy in the video.
I don't know what's going on.
What about those hotties in the
girls,
video?
Oh my God.
We hear rumors what happens at like video sets where like the Donnie Klangs, the Diddies, the Day 26, they hook up with some of the girls on the video, huh?
I could just say that when I showed up, these were the hottest models I've ever seen in my life. And then Diddy comes in and he's like, these girls aren't hot enough. We need to bring in hotter girls. Like, seriously. And then these girls were coming in that barely spoke a word of English that were just like, I feel like put on this earth to be hot. And
I love those kind of girls. Those kind of girls are great.
And I'm
they
just
don't speak
there.
English. You don't have to communicate at all. They're just good looking, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just.
Well, obviously, I'm sure you do this radio promo tour, and a lot of people
put
ask
on this
you.
world to be hot.
A lot of people ask you what we're about to ask you, but let's just talk about your situation with Aubrey during the season. Was that blown up for the TV show? Did you guys have a connection? Did you have a moment? What's your situation right now?
I feel like everything just being on a TV show, everything gets accentuated just like no matter what it is. Like even though I was shafted with the studio time, it wasn't that bad. Like I did get to go home and write my own stuff. Like they didn't show me at home writing my own stuff. They just showed me at home being a loser by myself at home. So, but no, the whole thing with her was, it was just like at first we were kind of into each other, and then we went to dinner, and I saw a different side of her. Like I saw this like side that wasn't as crazy as the crazy Aubrey that everybody sees, and then it was just like, it's just tough. Like one person in the music industry, like my last relationship at home didn't last, and then for two people, like right now, God only knows where she is. I think she's in New York. But who knows? Like, you never know. Like, because Donnie Klang could have a show and then she has to fly out. I know she's doing Broadway, but, like, with the music industry, it's like, you never know where you're going to be at what point, so it's hard to have a relationship.
We saw that date on TV, okay? You getting to know her, okay? Now, the TV show made it seem like then afterwards, you hit up a couple honeys and you want to go out afterwards, kind of like double dipping is what the TV show made it seem like you did. What really happened, Donnie?
Let me defend myself and say
because
I was not double dipping.
They said some stuff too, man.
Yeah, because Q was trying to save face because Q went behind my back.
Explain what really happened, because I'm dying to know, for real.
Let me explain my side of the story.
Here we go. Here we go.
So I did go to dinner with her, and we previously had plans to later that night. Me, I think Rob, maybe Q was involved to go out to a lounge bar type of place with other girls. Which was a previous plan for like the past week. We had this plan. So I was newly single. I was trying to get over a relationship. I was ready to just make an album and shove it in my ex-girlfriend's face.
Nice. I like that.
So the more I could do on TV to accentuate the shoving in the face, I was gonna do. So we were gonna go out to this lounge, like just hang out with a couple girls, and it just happened to be on the same night that they set it up for me to go on this date with Aubrey. Me and Aubrey did want to go on a date, but it just happened to happen on the same night. So we went to this other lounge, and then I'm seeing Q on the phone calling Aubrey, I guess. He says he was calling Dawn, but he knows because he said to me behind cameras and everything, he's like, oh, this is going to make such a great television moment. I was like, a great television moment?
You're selling me out,
bro. Exactly. So he's like, I don't know. I feel like it's going to make a great television moment. So we had to sit down with...
It actually did make a great television moment because everybody's talking about it.
It did, but it sucked.
Yeah, it did. Okay, but for real, like, so was Aubrey like really mad at you, or was that all hyped up too? I mean, like, what is your relationship with her now? Y'all just friends? Or?
No, at this point we're cool, but at that point she was legitimately mad at me, and she's the type that will take any moment and make it a TV moment.
No, not Aubrey.
I don't believe you at all.
B96.